Alright, boys, so we are here at butt crack o'clock in the morning to find out that we have a little data download over here on the JP version of the game, and potentially a little bit of a hint to maybe the servant for White Day. It's a lot of Seraph stuff going on right now, because if you look at the pre-release campaign over here, they're bringing back the Seraph event, and then they're bringing back like this big banner that has like all of the Sakura faces and Suzuka on it. So I'm kind of sitting here racking my brain as to who could be the new White Day servant. As you guys may know, White Day is when we get like a new male servant. I believe it's like when we got Arthur's new outfit. That's around the time when Odysseus came out. So we might be getting some new major-ish male servant, either a new costume or a new male servant entirely. I'm leaning more towards, just new flat-out male servant. Although, I wouldn't be surprised if they were just like, ah, yeah, Gilgamesh or Emiya, they're gonna get their, like, mythological Mystic Code outfits. Although Gilgamesh kind of already has his mythological Mystic Code outfit as his third ascension, so maybe that'll be Emiya's, but that doesn't seem very White Day-ish, if that makes sense. It's a little odd. So I don't know, that's kind of something that I'm speculating on, like maybe it'll be someone from Seraph, but the problem is that if you look at Fate Extella and Fate Extella Link, the only male characters that were missing from the Moon Cell are Charlemagne and, well, Magnum Dong himself, which is, what I call the ruler version of Charlemagne, because, bro, how you not gonna call him Magnum Dong? Like, look at him. Look at Rex Magnus Carl, look at his name, and then just realize that it's more apt to call him Magnum Dong instead. So, yeah, I'm thinking like maybe they could be one of them, but doesn't that seem a little odd because they don't have anything to really do with the Seraph stuff that they're kind of pushing right now? Or maybe this is just some random side thing that they're doing in preparation for the live stream, maybe? Like, they're just like, oh, we're just doing a little thing to tide people over because the live stream should be dropping in about 4 days, right? Because it said that the live stream should be on the 27th, and then, we'll get information as to who is going to be coming out for White Day, and maybe this is just some complete random side thing that they're just doing to tide people over for 4 days because, they're like, we know that people are going to get antsy if there's absolutely nothing new going on, so maybe we're just throwing this out there. But the other thing that I'm a little disappointed in is that there is no buffs to any of these servants, and while a lot of these servants here are like definitely fine, Melt Lilith I think is the best one on Raid Up right now, it's like getting new buffs for servants, even if it's just something minor, is always really exciting because it just raises their viability. And honestly, these two probably could have used it a little bit. Melt and King Protea have a pretty solid style of gameplay that's pretty fixed in, and that they already do pretty well at accomplishing, with Melt Lilith being a insanely good single target quick servant that maybe, I don't know, you want to throw like an additional buff her way. I mean, I'm definitely not going to complain. Maybe you want to give her some more, I don't know, maybe you built-in crit damage for her because she didn't have any of her own just initial built-in crit damage. Like, maybe you want to, because she can already drop stars for herself, right? And she doesn't buff her crits anywhere, like, as you can see. So maybe that's where you wanted to do something for her. Like, maybe you want to buff her NP so it hits a little harder, but I don't maybe you want to make this proc first. I don't know. She's kind of fine as is. I don't think there really is anything to buff her very much on. And King Protea, I mean, whether I think it's like the best style of gameplay or not, I mean, just has this more stall style of gameplay where she slowly becomes an invincible wall that your opponent does not have an out to, where like at some point she's going to have like 50,000 HP and like 65% damage reduction against enemy NPs. So it's like the only way she can die is if the enemy just throws a big crit her way, right? And because she got that buff where she got the NP damage reduction as well, it just makes her a very, very hard servant to out. It's just more or less like getting to that point where she has the big HP and the big NP damage reduction, which I'm not the biggest fan of like stall strategies like that, but I understand some people probably like playing that, you know, for kind of memes sometimes, because it's like, oh, I get to use a servant that like slowly gets stronger and stronger at the end of every turn. So, you know, if that's your, you know, that's what you enjoy, that's totally fine. But these two probably could have used it, and it's a little odd that they didn't give them any buff, or BB getting a buff, because that's the other thing over here. They made it available for all players, as you can see right there. And so you would have thought that maybe they would have tossed a buff her way. Again, I kind of feel the same way about BB that I feel about Mel to Lilith, where I feel like BB is kind of a completed servant. I don't really think there's a whole lot else you need to really give BB. I think she's absolutely fine, but I'm never going to complain about buffs for a lot of these servants, and because it's always just something really exciting, right? It's like why costumes and buffs are really exciting, because if you own the servant, it's like, oh, my servant is getting better, or it's getting more interesting with a new costume. You know, maybe you know, you have someone like Kentoki as well, who he gets a costume, and now even I'm just like, dude, I definitely want to summon for this servant now because he looks absolutely sick. So I don't know. Maybe they could have given us the Nurse BB outfit as an actual costume, because like if you look at her her NP, she like turns into the nurse outfit. I mean, how incredibly based would that have been if we got Nurse BB as an outfit? I mean, that would have been super sick, but apparently not. So I don't know. I'm kind of just throwing speculations out there right now, and I'm also like, oh, this will be really interesting to get some speculations from people in the comments as well, because, you know, they're you might go, sorry, I'm slurring over my words. It is butt crack o'clock in the morning. Let me just remind people, but I always like throwing these videos out here, these little like speculation videos, so I can kind of give my thoughts, and then usually people in the comments are like, well, actually, ZTL, if you were on the Japanese Twitter, you would have seen this random comment where someone alluded to the fact that we're actually going to be getting a new Gilgamesh unit for White Day or whatever, and I'm like, oh, well, there we go. Now I know. Apparently, speculation over. It's new Gilgamesh unit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, because at the end of the day, this should be hype for some people, because you got to also remember that these three namely are very popular as Sakura faces. I'm not sure how popular Suzuka is. I like Suzuka. I think Suzuka's pretty dope. But I think it's just a matter of, do you find the whole Japanese schoolgirl type of talking meme to be like annoying or something? In fact, actually, Suzuka has, I think she has like a master or like a lord, quote unquote, in her lore. And when I first saw this and I was like, oh, this is coming out before White Day, like, maybe we'll get that guy, but I don't remember if that guy was a big deal or not. I'm not gonna lie, which is probably gonna make somebody mad, because he's probably a big deal in some lore, and me being like, I don't remember if he's a big deal, is gonna like make somebody flip their coffee table. So I don't know. That was my other speculation. I'm thinking like maybe this means something, and maybe we'll be getting like her dude, or maybe someone related to them, whether it be related to them directly from CCC, or maybe it's just related to them and that they're a Moon Cell character. And maybe we'll get Charlemagne. I think people would really like Charlemagne or Rex Magnum Dong, although I just think, you know, Charlemagne, you know, being younger will probably fit the idea of White Day more. I don't know how people would feel about getting old Magnum Dong coming out for White Day, right? It doesn't seem like it'd be very popular, but you know, I could be wrong, because I know that I would summon insanely hard for Magnum Dong, because dude, it's Magnum Dong. Who does not want Magnum Dong? But I guess with that being said, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I am gonna go try to get some rest because my eyes are exploding right now. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the matter. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, alike, guys.